Hello YouTube brothers, today I want to talk about willpower and the decision to correct things. I think it is very important to be constant and to have much willpower to achieve your goals and to go your way, even though there's a lot of resistance and a lot of doubt within yourself and within others. But there is a point when it comes to correction, and I think it is very, very important that you are able to feel inside when it is important to correct things. And the funny thing is that it is not really a thing which you can teach, you only can point to. When you grow up and getting older, then you have the experience and taste what a helpful path is, if you have to just go through or if you have to correct the things. And there are several things which you are very sure about that you can correct, or which you are very sure about which you have to go through. For example, when going on the way of semen retention, there is a point when there's doubt coming and when there's some fake wisdom which is saying, hey man, you can enjoy your life, just release, and what a stupid idea to retain your semen and so on and so forth. But this is actually not true. So when on semen retention, it doesn't mean that you have to do this your whole life, but you have to withstand it for several weeks or even months to have really the experience and to have the full understanding within yourself that this is something for you or not. You cannot go on semen retention for 12 days or even a month and say, okay, I'm done with it, and so I go back. That's not the thing. But when you, on the other hand, when you on semen retention for about just say for 6 months, and you say you feel that the power to hold it is there, the mental power, even the bodily capacity to hold that is there, then you can reflect on if it is a good thing to release maybe monthly or once a year or in any cycle you like to experiment with. But you have to go this long time to really have the experience, otherwise it's just mental stuff. You heard it from other men and you try it out, you have the first experiences and you go the way, the first steps, but it's like you're going halfway the stairs up and on half of the way you decide, okay, it's fine, I like it, but it's not really the thing, because you are trying to get back into your comfort zone. You have to go the stairs, and now the question is when is the time, when is it time that you can decide it fully? You will recognize it. The paradox here is that there is no urge to decide it or to go back, because a decision is something which is really hard, so to say. A decision is something where you really have to choose between two things. But when you're on a halfway to semen retention and there's coming some doubt or mental issues into your mind saying, that's nothing, it's just a trend or some stupid idea, then it is not really a decision, because it is much more easier in this way to get back into the old habits, and very difficult to go the way further. And after several times there is something like a detaching from this. It does not really matter, though that does not mean that you have to binge masturbate or go back into the old habit, but you know the experience, you know the way, And now it is not even a great thing anymore. You can say, okay, that's been a fine path, and I want to refine it, and I want to go further, and I want to experiment with it, and I want to transmute the energy and so on. But I could decide to monthly release or something like that. And that is a really balanced decision. That does not mean that it is something you have to struggle with, but it is really balanced. And this is, in my experience, the point where you have the freedom of choice. Otherwise, you do not really have the freedom, and you have to work through your choice. When you feel that it is much easier to get back into old habits, yet to just go the way, which is very hard, then I would assume that you go the hard way until you have the feeling, okay, it's not like this anymore. Let's choose another example. You begin with cardio, maybe 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week. You're doing long jogging sessions, or you're doing maybe HIIT sessions or something like that, but for your cardio to get a lot of stamina and so on. So you're doing it for 1 week, for 1 month, even for half a year, and then you recognize, okay, now I have such a momentum. It's not really an issue to get into my shoes and to just doing the session, but there's always a decision to get back in the old habits. But it is not like this at the beginning. You do not have to push through. At the beginning, maybe after a month, you feel that your tendons are very weak. You feel fatigue, and there's not so much joy anymore, like in the beginning where you feel energetic and refreshed. And so you decide, oh, maybe I will quit this thing. And don't get me wrong, it is really fine when it is an honest thing within yourself. But you will fail to have the experience what it does mean to get pushed through. I'm not a regular jogger anymore, but there was a time when I really want to know if I can have much more stamina. I had problems with my lungs and could not really jog properly, because I had not really a technique. I tried to jog with my feet pointing on the 4-point and so on, and I tried to experiment a lot, but I somehow pushed it through. Even when I was tired, that does not mean that you have to hurt yourself or that you have to absolutely ignore your body signals, but there is a sweet point where you have to push it through. And after a while, you have a momentum, you have an experiment, and you have kind of a master class. And when you reach that level, you can still decide if you want to reduce the habit, change it, or go on to have that. And back to the topic of semen retention, this is one of the most life-changing thing you can do. Of course, it is not an alone thing or a single thing. You have to combine it with goals achieving and to transmute the energy and other things of life. But to stand through all the things going through, it is something which is very, very changing on a spiritual level even. I only can emphasize that very much, and the only thing I can compare with that is to go to a really deep meditation daily. This is also a thing which can change your life very, very deep, but it's also very challenging. And when you have achieved there a master class, then you can still decide to say, okay, that's enough, or I will reduce it or something like that. But your point will change, and you have somehow a freedom of that. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.